Then today, inshallah, I'm going to work with you about module 3, which is talking about rate of a change and slope. So which lesson we are going to study together today, grade 8, rate of a change and slope. You can hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. And you can see the rate of a change and slope in front of you. Already we're sharing the screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So let me start with you. Rate of a change and slope. So we want to know what the meaning of rate of change and how we are going to calculate it. In case we have a set of data like this, so we have x and y. The value of x, or the data for x, is 1, 4, 7, and 10. And the value of y, it's -6, -8, -10, and -12. We want to know what the meaning of rate of change. The rate of a change is a ratio of the amount of change in the dependent variable or output to the amount of a change in the independent variable or input. So we can say here that x represent the input value and y represent the output value, right? So the rate of a change, it is a ratio of amount of the change in the dependent variable, which is output, and the independent variable, which is input. Okay, then how we are going to calculate it? To calculate the rate of change, then we have to calculate change of y over change of x. Then again, how we are going to calculate the rate of change, grade 8? How we are going to calculate rate of change?
Change
We
of
make
y over
Change
over
of
X.
y over change of x. And how we are going to calculate change of y? We are going to find the difference between -6 and -8. So how we are going to calculate it? We are going to calculate -6 minus -8. For this reason, -8 minus -6, negative times negative becomes what? Becomes positive, right? So it will be -6 plus 8 over change of y, 1 minus 4. Then you will find the answer. It will be 2 over -3. So this is the change of y in the first order pair and the change of y in the first same order pair for x and y. Next, we are going to continue. I want to find the change of the second order pair and the third order pair. So we will use the same way. -8 minus -10 over what, grade 7? 4 minus 7. So the answer, it will be now negative times negative becomes positive. So the answer, it will be 2 over -3. We will continue. We are going to find the difference between the third and the fourth order pair by the same way. Then we will find -10 minus -12. Then it will change into positive. Then 7 minus 10, it will be 2 over -3. What do you notice, my dear student, here? What do you notice?
Yes, can I say?
Yes, please.
But this is a slope that the rate that it means that the slope has a formula.
The slope has a formula. And also, what do you notice again? The slope has a
Means
formula. Hmm.
they
That
have
the
the same
y
result.
Exactly, they have the same result. And how did we find the same result here? We made what?
by
Y over x.
Change, yes, the change of y over the change of x. So
X.
each time we notice that we have the same value. So this is called the rate of change. And what is the constant value every time in this question? It's 2 over -3. Any questions so far till now?
No, thank you.
Now, as I said, we note that all of them have the same value. Now we will transfer to another point, which is types of slopes. We have 4 types of slopes. If the line point to the right side like this, so we are going to say that this slope, it will be positive. And let me say something. To don't confuse, we can say that if the slope is positive, so it looks like that you are going to take right. You know the sign when you made right for anything?
Yes.
Okay, so if the line is close to the sign for click right, like this, so it will be positive. If it's opposite, I can say that this one like click right. I can say it like this,
No.
takes the same direction.
Uh,
No. Then once you have it like the tick right, so we will say that this one, it will be equal positive. So the first one, it will be positive slope. Okay, the second one, it will be negative slope. The third, which is, this is for raising here, and this one, if it's raising, so it will be positive. If it's falling, it will be negative. If it's parallel to the x-axis, it will be 0. If it's parallel to y-axis, it will be no slope. Or we can write also that this one is undefined. Undefined. Okay, so I can give you the question. Sorry, undefined. By another way. Could you please write this question? What is the value of slope if it's parallel to x-axis? Could you please anyone tell me the answer? What is the value?
Miss, can you say?
What is the value of slope if it's parallel to x-axis? You know, when you have the coordinates, so this is the first one, and this is the coordinates, right? This is
Yes.
x-axis, and this is y-axis, right? If I have a line, and this line, it will be parallel to x-axis. So what is the value of this slope in this case?
0.
0.
Exactly. So when you have a question and the question say, what is the value of the slope if it's parallel with x-axis, to the slope it will be equal 0. In second case, what is the value of the slope if it's parallel to y-axis? Is there anyone can tell me? This is the y-axis, right? So if I'm going to draw a line like this, so what is the value of the slope?
No slope.
No slope
No.
undefined.
No slope or undefined. Exactly. So this is the x coordinates. This is, sorry, the x-axis. And this is y. And this is the y prime. Then once we have coordinates and we want to find the value of a slope, so sometimes he will not give you the question in direct way. He is going to say, what about the slope of a line which is parallel to x-axis? So the slope of a line which is parallel to x-axis, its value should be equal 0. The line which is parallel to y-axis, so the slope it would be undefined. Okay, but in case we have another type of slope, so we have 2 different types: positive if it's rising, or negative if it's falling. Till now it's okay.
Yes.
Let's move to another part. We can write a specific formula to calculate the slope. Then to calculate the slope, we have a formula: y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then once we have a figure, 2 points here, I have 2 points, and I want to calculate the slope of these 2 points. First, how we are going to classify the 2 points. Then we will start. Would you please write those 2 order pair in your notebook? So we have 3 and 6. So we can say that this one is x1 and this one is y1. Don't forget, please. And this is x2 and this is y2. Okay, so we
Miss,
have,
can I say?
yes, okay, so we have x1 y1 and x2 y2. Okay, go on, ya Kenzie.
We will make 4. I will make first 6 minus 4.
6 minus 4 because we said, listen, Kenzie, when you classified this one, I said what? I said 3 and 6, this is x1, y1, and this is negative 2 and
Oh,
x2, y2. So we have to start with 4,
with the 4, 4,
yes, 4
4
minus,
minus 6,
4 minus what? 4 minus 6,
6.
right? Over,
And then we'll make negative 2 minus 3.
exactly, negative 2 minus 3. So the answer, it will be equal negative 2, right? Over,
This is 2 over 5.
yes.
There's no
At the
negative.
beginning, if you will simplify, you will find that it's negative 2 over negative 5, right? But negative divided negative to write the answer in simplicity,
Will be positive.
it will be positive. So the answer, it will be 2 over 5.
2 over 5.
Let me ask you a question. If I'm going to change the order of those two order pairs, how? If I'm going to say I want to start with 3 and 6 and then negative 2 and 4, do you expect that the answer, it will be the same or it will be different? I will say again. If I will say that I want to start with negative 2, negative 2 and 4, sorry, negative 2 and 4, and then 3 and 6, how we will classify it now? How you will classify? I said what? When you want to classify. So the first one, this, it will be x1, and this one, it will be what? y1, يا آدم, and this is x2, and then y2, right? Then we will
Yes.
start to substitute. When we will start to substitute, it will be 6 minus 4 over 3 minus negative 2, which means it will be positive. So the answer, it will be equal 2 over 5. It gives us the same value of the slope, right? So the order is not important. Whatever you are going to start with 3 and 6 and then negative 2 and 4, it will give you the same answer if you will start with negative 2 and 4 and then 3 and 6. For this reason, only care about when you will start to classify. So you will write x1, y1. Don't write for me x1, x2, because this is a common error. x1, y1, and then x2, y2. You got this point? Then you have the same value. So this is how you are going to calculate the slope between any 2 points. Let's continue.
Yes, can you see the slope has 2 formula?
The first one is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then rise over run. And this is the next example, Kinsey. Wait for me just a second. This is what you
Okay.
mean, right? About rise over run?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Just a
Yeah.
second, honey. Okay. So as I said, we are going to find and calculate the slope for y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this one, it will be 2 over 5, which is rising. Now we are going to explain how we will calculate the slope when we have a graph. Before we will start, let me ask you a question. You will expect here that this line, the slope, it will be positive or negative?
Positive raising.
Question, it would be equal positive. It's raising, right? How we are going to calculate it? We have two different ways to calculate the slope. First way, to determine the points, and then we will use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The second way to use rise over run. What's rise donated for? Rise donated for the y varies from this point to this point. Let me draw it for you. This is the first way. We are going to find the 2 points. The first point is -3 and 0, and the second point is 4 and 4. Then we are going to find y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then we found the slope equal 4 over 7. The second way, as I told you, we are going to determine rise over run. Okay, so rise the vertical distance from this point till the point to draw. It seems like you are going to draw a right angle triangle. Then from 0 till 4. So I have 4 vertical units. For the horizontal units, I have from this point, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will be 4 out of 7. Okay, so this is the second method to draw, to calculate the slope of any line. Okay, so
Miss, I can't understand.
again, my dear. The first way, did you understand the first way to use the formula y2 minus y1?
Yes. Oh,
Okay, the second method, ignore the formula and we can draw a right angle. How? This is a line, we will draw a vertical line and then a horizontal line between the 2 points. Did you see this, the 2 points?
yes.
Extend this line vertical and extend this line horizontal. Both they will intersect at this point, right? Then
Yes.
you will count how many vertical units do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Right? How many
Yes.
horizontal points do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the
7.
slope directly, it will be 4 out of 7.
7. Oh,
Okay. Any questions
okay.
so far about this?
No, thank you.
How you are welcome. How we are going to calculate the slope? By using the formula or by using rise over run. Okay. Then we are going to work with question in your book, page 80, question number 81, question number 10. In this question, he wants to draw a rectangle EFGH is graphed on a coordinate plane with vertices at E, -3 and 5. So please, you will start to draw with me. You will start to draw with me the rectangle. Then the first point is -3 and 5. Then you will draw -3 and then you will go up till 5 and then dot the points. And this point now, it will be E. Work with me step by step. Second, F6 and 2. So I have 6 and then I'm going to go up till 2, then plot the points, and this is called F. Then we have G4 and the -4. 4, and then we will go down till -4, so plot the points, and this is called G. And then we have H, -5 and -1, then plot the points, -5 and -1. So this is called what? This is called H. Did we plot the points?
Yes.
Now we will start to connect between each 2 points. Connect between each 2 points. Then we will start to connect between E and F, and then F and G, and then H and G, and the last one is E and H. Did you draw it? Have you finished?
Yes.
Okay. So now in front of us, we have a figure or a rectangle EFGH. What else we are looking for? The first question, he said, find the slope of each side. Could you please calculate the slope of EF? How we are going to calculate the slope of EF? What are the coordinates of point E? Point E was how many?
-3 and 5.
Negative 3 and 5. And then we have point F, which is Adam. Point F is what?
6 and 2.
6 and 2. Okay, could you please calculate the slope and tell me the answer? Which method we are going to use to calculate the slope? How we are going to calculate the slope, grade 8?
Miss, can I say?
Yes, please.
y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Exactly. So we are going to calculate y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We will classify first, so this one, it will be x1, and the second is what? y1.
y1.
And this is x2, and this is y2. Then we are going to replace or substitute. We will calculate, it will be 2 minus 5 over 6 minus -3, which means it will be plus 3. Then it will be -3 over 9. Okay? In simplest form, it will be what? Grade 9, grade 8, sorry. It will be negative
1 over 3.
1 over 3. Okay? Negative 1 over 3. The question wants from us to calculate the slope of each 2 points, E and F, F and G, G and H, and HE. Okay? So this is the first question, which is A. So you are going to use the same method every time to use the rule y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to find the slope of EF. So we found together that the slope of EF is -1 over what? Over 3. When you will continue to calculate the slope of HG by the same way, you will find that the answer, it will be -1 over 3. When you will calculate the slope of EF, it will be equal 3. The slope of FG, it will be equal 3. So this is to calculate the slope for each point. And you have to mention your steps for each one. Second question, he said, what do you notice about the slopes of the opposite sides? What do you notice about the slopes of the opposite sides? You notice what? Yes, Maya?
They are the same result, يعني the same value.
Exactly. They have the same
will
slopes,
be
right?
consistent.
They have the same slopes. Then, what do you notice about the slope of adjacent sides? Okay, let me say something. He said this is for question number A. We are going to calculate, for question number A, we are going to calculate the slope of each one. In question number B, he said, what do you notice about the slope of each opposite sides? Right? So the slope of opposite sides are what? Are what? The slope of
Are negative.
are equal, right? The slope of opposite sides are equal, which means are equal. Once you have the slopes of two opposite sides are equal, this will help us to know that they are parallel. Okay? Parallel. But question number C, he said, what do you notice about two adjacent sides? What the meaning of adjacent sides, which means EF and FG, this is called adjacent sides. FG and GH, this is called adjacent sides. Okay? What do you notice about the slope of two adjacent sides? Let me check with you something. When you will multiply, he said now adjacent adjacent sides. If there anyone can give me an example about two adjacent sides?
Miss, can I say?
Yes, please.
Well, -1/3 and 3.
Okay, but the name of the two adjacent sides, could you please give me EF
EF and FG.
and FG? Exactly. FG
And FG and GH.
GH. Thank you so much. What we have to do with these slopes, if you are going to multiply now -1/3 multiply by 3, the answer, it will be equal -1, right? What this means, when you will multiply the two numbers together, the two slopes together, and you have the answer equal -1, this means that they are perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular. So perpendicular, once you have two slopes, they are equal, then they will be what? Huh. If they are equal, then the two slopes, they will be parallel.
Perpendicular.
Parallel. If they
Right.
are equal, then they will be parallel. If they are their product equal -1, they will be perpendicular like this, which means they are going to form a right angle triangle. Perpendicular like this, then they form a right angle triangle. Like here, because it was a rectangle, right? So this one is right angle, this one is right angle, and here we have another right angle, and in this one. Okay, so again, for this exercise, I said you will find this exercise in your book, page 81, question number 10, A and B and C. First, we are going to calculate the slope for each line. Second, what do you notice about the slope of each two opposite sides? We said that the slope of two opposite sides are equal, which means the two lines are parallel. What do you notice about the slope of two adjacent sides? We said adjacent sides, which means it's consecutive sides like EF, FG, GH, and HE. The product of the two slopes equal -1. Then they will be perpendicular, which means they will form a right angle triangle. What about if the product will not be equal -1? What about if the product will not be equal -1? Which means what, grade 8?
They are not perpendicular.
Thank you so much. Yes, they will not be perpendicular. So we have only two rules. If M1, which means the slope of the first one, equal M2, then they will be parallel. But in case if the product of M1 multiply by M2 equal -1, so the two lines, they will be perpendicular. If they are not equal or their product is not -1, then we have only two lines without a specific case like this one, each two opposite sides are parallel, then they have the same slope. Two adjacent sides, the product of their slopes equal -1, then they will be perpendicular. We have a homework today. It will be in your book, page 80, and only one question in page 82, question number 15.